My pleasure and privilege to welcome very warmly into our next Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of NEXIM, Mr. Robert Oyo. We have had very close relationship with NEXIM. We didn't have a choice anyway, given the work that they do and given the disposition and the diligence of the Managing Director. I was telling him in my office that it's such a coincidence that we've had Dr. Yemikale come this morning and him following very closely an hour or two after the departure of the Chief Statistician General. It's not easy to pull the big masquerades out of location, you know, and when you are in Abuja, it's even more delicate, you know, to make that happen. But we're so very grateful that the MD has found time to be with us this afternoon. He has had one engagement already, so we would have to be mindful of that and ensure that we do this as business-like as possible so that he can be free to return to Abuja, or at least to relax in Lagos if he chooses to do that. We have quite a number of our colleagues here. I won't want to bore you by introducing all of our people. I'll just introduce some of them, and I believe that the rest would pardon me. Philip is our editor. He's the one who does the cooking in the kitchen, and the rest of us work for him, really. Kola is our Chief Marketing Officer. Anthony is research editor. She runs our operation into the campuses, and that's been the man in charge of the initiative that we do with your support, sir. Tayo is our senior economist, and of course Bashir, who has come from Abuja, and where's Onyesh? Okay, she's hiding behind there. And I think, gentlemen, you permit me, and so we can just go ahead and do this. Now, you know, I said earlier that we don't have a choice, that we must work with NEXIM, given the work that they do as catalysts, you know, for promoting economic development in the country. The MD clearly, sometimes they get it right in the government and appoint the right people. And yours is clearly one of such a case. It's not all the time that you find those heading government institutions with the kind of preparation that he has, and I think his work at NEXIM is perhaps his first work in government. He's had a totally private sector background and experience, and so you shouldn't be too surprised that the success that is associated with him in the years that he's headed NEXIM. We will straight away just yield the floor to him and ask you to make some opening comments, and thereafter we'll ask some questions. But let me just assure you before you start, we don't embarrass our guests. When we invite people here, we don't invite them and then embarrass them. And so be free, even in the course of talking to us, if there's anything you would rather is kept within us and not published, be free to let us know. But we want you to be able to not just pass information on to us, but to give us a very good understanding. And sometimes such understanding comes when you get, you know, things that you shouldn't report. So I thought I should assure you that yes, the seat is hot, but not in that sense. You're welcome again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Frank, and your able team. Let me quickly introduce my colleagues. Chinedu is the head of corporate communication, and Tayo is the head of strategic planning. We're excited to be here because we have had a very long-standing relationship with BusinessDay.
Thank you, sir.
And we have known BusinessDay to be a keeper of the book.
Thank you, sir.
I keep fighting with my head of corporate communication. When there's an article on NEXIM Bank and it's not in BusinessDay, I will tell you that it has not been published. So we're happy to be here.
Thank you, sir.
Like Frank said, some of us have not been in government. I got into government August 2009. When when I was appointed the MD of NEXIM Bank. We are still trying to settle down, understand the behavior of public servants. I'm not sure I'll be able to get into that kind of trap, but what we're going to discuss here is generally what we'll be able to do in NEXIM, where we see the Nigerian economy, some other aspects of the world economy and all that. It might appear to be in a structured form, but as we discussed, it's going to be very, very interactive.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So for today, we are just looking at the external sector and what role NEXIM play. The outline is the introduction, the global economy, the Nigerian economy, and then the Nigerian external sector, the 2013 outlook, the role of NEXIM in some of the key sectors, and then some concluding remarks. Maybe, I don't know whether I can start by telling you a little about NEXIM, even though there's a role of NEXIM. But NEXIM was set up in 1991 as an export credit agency. It's a trade policy bank of Nigeria, and we have the primary mandate of deepening the external sector and diversifying the economy of Nigeria away from oil. So we don't touch anything that is oil related. We know that we have this oil will finish one day, or even if it does not finish, we woke up one day, there will be no market.
And nobody wants the oil anymore.
No market for this oil. So we were set up to provide finance, to provide risk-bearing facilities, that is credit guarantee and insurance, to provide trade and market information. And when I came in 2009, I added financial advisory services, to Nigerian exporters. So let me have that background. But we have to look at an overview of the global economy in 2012. And the IMF statistics have shown that the global growth has declined to 3.2% in 2012 from 3.9% in 2011. And this has been attributed mainly to the persistent contraction in the Eurozone. All of us know what is happening in the Eurozone. There's no demand, the whole place is debt-ridden, and less than expected growth in emerging economies. Talk about the economies of Brazil, India, China, and the rest of them. We find that growth is slowing down. Growth in the Eurozone area declined by 0.4% in 2012 from a growth of 1.4% in 2011. Emerging economies of India and Brazil, they are also declined to 4.5% and 1% respectively from the 7.9% for India and 2.7% for Brazil in 2011. And the global contraction also impacted adversely on African economies. The growth in sub-Saharan has also declined, from 5.3% in 2011 to 4.8%. 2012. Now, what is happening in the Nigerian economy? Before we leave the global economy, all of you, I'm sure, as reporters for Business Day, the financial crisis that we had in 2007-2008, it is only Africa and some part of Asia that stimulated the demand for the world economy to begin to recover. There's no demand in America. Of course, in Europe, you know what is happening. Yeah. So we are now at this level where we should take advantage of our God-given resources. The destiny of the world economy is in the hands of Africa. And when you talk about Africa, you talk about Nigeria because we're the gateway to Africa. And we have all the commodities. We are now at a stage where we should forget exporting raw commodities to these countries, where they process them and send them back to us. Maybe sell to us 10 times what we... So everybody is coming. So we have gotten to a stage where we should determine to the West and even some of the emerging countries that this is what we have and this is what we are expected to do with these raw materials. Now, what about the Nigerian economy? Of course, we have recorded some strong growth, though at a very lower rate, compared to what happened in 2011. The statistics from Caleb office, show that we're estimating that for this year it's going to be 6.99% as against the 7.76 in 2011. And the growth in Nigeria it has continued to be driven by non-oil, which rose by 8.25% as against a decline of 0.79 in the oil sector. You see, this is where Nigerians need to be very, very alive to what is happening. The revenue of the government, almost 70% of total revenue of the federal government comes from oil. In terms of export revenues, foreign exchange revenues, we're talking about almost 94-95%. In spite of this alliance, what is the contribution of oil to our GDP? How many people are being employed in oil and gas sector? Not many. So we know that we are sitting on a time bomb. It's just a matter of time. Meanwhile, we have sectors that have huge potentials that we have not even been able to scratch them. If you talk about agriculture, you talk about solid minerals. Solid minerals is huge. The total export of South Africa in 2011, I think it was about $94 billion. 60% of their export revenues came from mining. The endowment of Nigeria and South Africa, Nigeria has a better endowment because we have 34 solid minerals in commercial quantities. Yet, as we speak now, solid minerals is contributing less than 1% to our GDP.
0.3.
So that should tell you that, look, that is a sector that is begging for investment. That is the sector that we can use in creating jobs for our teeming youths. That is the sector that we can use in reducing our reliance on oil. When we show you what the next slide, you can see that agriculture is contributing 39%. Solid minerals is because it's 0.4 is less than 1%.
It doesn't even show that.
It's showing you 0%. And that is where the money is. Now you have crude, petroleum, and natural gas. It's just 15%. Manufacturing, 4%, because of maybe the challenges that we have. Telecom is about 7%. Wholesale and retail trade is actually driving growth. That's about 20%, and then the hotel and restaurant 1%, and the others you have 15%. That is just to show you the growth in solid mineral has actually gone down. It's actually gone down to below the line. Yeah, the oil. Okay, oil that has gone down. So you can see that where we are sitting on a whole lot of money, we are becoming extremely very lazy because we are successful. Nigerians are so successful that we don't know how to manage success. I think that is our problem. When I get to my own state, I'm from Benue State. When I talk to my people, because we're a food basket, and I keep telling them that, look, when I get to my local government or my village, you have millions of naira scattered on the ground. My people will take small sand and put on top of it. They will put a chair and a table and be drinking beer and be saying that they don't have money because they are lazy to process these millions. You get to Benue, you eat a mango and you just throw the seed away. After 5 years, you are harvesting it. So we have good soil, good water, the market is there, we don't have preservation. During the season, tomatoes are wasting, mangoes are wasting, oranges are wasting, yams are wasting, everything is wasting. But our people are not prepared, because you have a government that at the end of the month, people will come and distribute money. So everybody is looking at the government. But this money will finish. We are beginning to see signs that in the next 5 years, if we don't diversify, we are going to be in trouble.